Today, I ran because of the loss of a soldier who was killed in action. That's why I was out there in the rain with my flag, my honor to fallen for Jason Weaver, who was killed in action.
I can't imagine. I can only liken losing a soldier, and I never had that experience to losing a family member,
Mhm.
somebody that you bleed with, somebody you go through the trenches with. So I can't imagine the kind of hole that you have in your heart for somebody that you've lost like that, and you kind of remember that. Is he the only a soldier that you've lost, or has there been more?
Oh, no, no. So on Saturday, I ran for David Fahey Jr., who was
Wow.
also killed in action. So we had maybe a short span of when David was blown up, killed in action. And then a few days later, Jason was actually killed in action. And it was surreal to even do it. At first, I didn't even realize, what was going on because I had just got on R&R, which is
Hmm.
rest and recuperation, and I flew back to the States to be with my kids and take them to Disneyland. I got the call from Joint Base Lewis McChord in Washington, and I was looking at the number like, who's calling me? Like, no one knows I'm
Hmm.
back. And they were like, hey, you lost one. And at first I was like, if they lost a weapon or something like that, hey, punish them, get the commander involved, Article 15. I have a whole master sergeant there. He knows how to handle this. I said, so what are you calling me for? And they were like, no, no, no. You lost a soldier. And then that is when it hit. My mom was like sitting across from me. My daughter was eating ribs because she was only like 5 or 6 at the time.
Hmm.
My son being finicky about how he eats, he was complaining. And I was just kind of like, nah, hung up. Like, yeah, nah, that didn't happen. And then, of course, I got the call back. They said, nah, don't hang up. Let's talk about this. And so then I found out, what the real impacts of war is because you don't have a choice on what's going on. Two people are fighting for some type of cause. And then at the end of the day, the worst thing that can happen is they get the drop on you and they take one of your people off the battlefield. And that's what happened to David first. And then 2 days later, while I'm still at Disneyland coping, trying to figure out this, they called me about Jason. And so it was like
Wow.
a smack in the face. Like I just left from being down there to come to Disney World, the greatest place on earth where happiness and everything else.
Hmm.
I'm spending time with my kids. That shut down. I wasn't really in Disney anymore. My mind was in Afghanistan because now my soldiers needed me. What am I doing here? I eventually had to just tell my mom, I said, hey, look, I'm going to go to the first funeral, which was David, that was stateside in New York. And so I went there, flew in, I met with one of my squad leaders. We didn't want our soldiers in a box to come back alone.
Sure.
So we sent them home with somebody. And so I got there, I met with the soldier, and then I finally got to see my soldier. And it's like, it was just surreal. It was the most painful thing. It was like losing a kid,
Wow.
like 100%.